Hey Beth, oops, sorry. Just clicked off here. I tell you, this looks like you did it correctly, but it's hard for me to tell because it's so dark. These are really, really dark, and I'm wondering if it's because of the PDF viewer maker that you know you use. Well, you use this conversion plugin to make your PDF, and this is just a caution for for all my students, anybody who's watching this, is that honestly, Adobe Acrobat Pro is the only way to make a PDF. Anything else, and things just get changed. Color files get changed, or color profiles get changed. Contrast profiles get changed. Brightness and darkness profiles get changed. And I bet, Beth, I'm willing to bet that on your computer this looked perfectly bright, and on my computer it's not. And if you re-download this PDF and open up the PDF that you download, you're probably going to see it's considerably darker than the original. And if not, if that's not the case, then these are really underexposed. But I have a feeling they're not, just because I've seen so many people have this, they turn in something, like they're a good student, you know, and they turn in something that's like so underexposed that I just can't imagine that you did this, you know, you took images that were this dark and thought that that was okay. I mean, this is really dark. Um, Yeah, I'm trying to brighten my monitor and it's just not working. Um, and I'm changing the angle. Nothing is working. So let's see what you've got here. You've got 1/20th of a second, ISO 200 f8. You didn't mention in your write-up what you metered your shadows at and what you metered your highlights at, and that's how we count the three-step difference. And I would like to know what you metered them at, just so I can make sure you're absolutely certain that you got a three-step difference. It looks to me like you did. Oh, what else was I going to say? Oh, shoot. Oh, I remember. 1/20th of a second. So here's my photographer's tip. Never photograph a living, breathing subject at shutter speeds slower than 1/60th of a second. And anything slower than that, you risk catching motion blur just from them breathing. Okay? So 1/60th of a second, it's the tripod cutoff. You know, slower than that, you need a tripod. But really, you shouldn't be photographing anything that's going to move slower than 1/60th of a second. And for me, because I want my shots to be usable, I don't want to like go to enlarge what I think is going to be my best shot I've ever made in my whole life, only to find out it's blurry because everything was moving. For me, I even use this rule outside. You know, if there's a breeze, 1/60th of a second, that's as slow as I'm going to go. And definitely with human subjects, 1/60th of a second is the slowest I will go. And then here, you know, you can compensate with your ISO or your aperture. Other than that, these look fine. I'm looking for your equipment shots. You don't have any equipment shots. Oh, I tricked myself. I'm not supposed to give you feedback without equipment shots. Well, I already did, and I'm just going to go ahead and accept the assignment because I'm having a hard time getting anybody to turn anything, Beth. But I do know that you have your equipment, so it must be there someplace. But don't forget those in the future. And you also, actually, you did a great job describing what you had to do to get this. You used the flag on one side, just like I did in my video, and you used the light on the other side. My other tip to you would be, don't be afraid of putting those lights like just right out of the frame. I mean, right there, because this is just too dark. And you probably thought, well, I don't want to have the light, you know, a foot and a half away from my subject. But guess what? Go ahead and put that light a foot and a half away from your subject. And if they complain, you know, apologize and be like, well, you know, this is how it works. This is what we do. Just try to relax. The light's not going to hurt you. Blah, blah, blah. You know, whatever you need to say. It's always, nobody likes it, but you just have to just explain to them that that's how it works because of the inverse square law. The further we put our lights, the less work they're doing on our subjects, so people have to deal. All right, anyways, other than that, it looks to me like you got a three-step difference, a 1:8 ratio. Your compositions are fine. Everything looks fine. Just more exposure, and then if these were brighter on your computer, just watch how you create your PDF. Make sure that you're actually using Acrobat Pro and not that tricky plugin that doesn't really do the right job. Okay? Nice work. Thanks, Beth.